Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Passive Money. This is Kirby. That's Alex over there. Today, we're reviewing a video from Dave Ramsey, and it goes as follows.
If you're going to be married to someone, you got to be able to give and take between the two of you and say, okay, we as a couple are going to develop a money philosophy.
All right, Alex, with that little snippet of the video being said, what do you think about what Dave Ramsey said?
I agree with it wholeheartedly. I mean, it applies to my wife and I. It was the first thing we discussed, even before marriage. I think it was important for the both of us to get on the same page of finances and understand where we both were financially. Not whether or not she had money or I had money, but where our mindset was with finances, our income, what's going out, our expenses before we even got married. It was a discussion very early in our relationship, so I agree with it 100%.
Yeah, and just like the conversation we had earlier at that lunch meeting we had with the gentleman, we spoke about the same things. It's rare in life that you're going to find somebody that, and I don't want I'm not saying that you need to find a woman with a PhD in finance or a male with a PhD in finance, but it's just the basic principles. The simple fact of, hey, we combine make X. We only can live at X or below X. If they can't grasp those simple basic fundamentals, and I'm not including credit cards and everything else you can finance over it. We make X. I don't care. We make $100. We have to live on $99.99 or below. If they can't grasp that concept, then it's a lot of struggle along the way. I mean, people can blame it on who demand they should go out and make more money. Okay. The woman should go out and make more money, not stay at home mom, whatever. Okay. But it doesn't matter either way. If you make a certain amount of money, you have to live below those means. And that is a basic concept I don't believe 99% of males or females have. So when Dave Ramsey said you have to come together and have a financial understanding about money, I think that is like the last subject people talk about when it comes to marriage. Because of course people have their misgivings. We've always been told in America, oh, you don't talk about finances, you don't talk about finance. So that's the last topic. But the crazy thing is the number one cause of divorce in the Western world is finances. So to me, that should be the first thing we're talking about here. And I'm not sitting here saying, hey, what's your bank account number? What's your credit score and all that? But what I'm saying is, if you can't be in line and in tune on that simple basic concept of we only live off what we make, then I think it's major problems ahead. And that's one of the biggest causes in the Western world is finances. And I believe that's why, because people don't like to have or are willing to have that conversation.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I thought it was a normal conversation to have in a relationship as an adult, um, just something that you should be discussing. But come to find out, many of the people that I encounter don't maybe don't share their finances with their spouse or don't even speak about finances. They keep everything
Or
separate.
the or they say his money and my money
Yeah,
or her money and my
and
money.
I
That's the
thought that
craziest thing
was
ever.
so weird. I think that's so weird. Um, I mean, and we've spoken about this before, where to you can succeed on your own, and I do know a certain individual who is very successful on his own, but he's married, but they keep their finances separate. But the pace at which you could succeed would be much faster if there's two people together. You could be successful by yourself and just go all in, just you only. But if you had a partner to help you as well, you would get there so much faster. You would reach your goals a lot faster if you were both on the same page.
Right. And then so for that friend, and we're not calling no names, for that friend that six who is successful, and him and his wife. I take it. I don't know what pronouns to use these days, but for him and his wife to for him to be successful. So is it just considered him successful and his wife's a brokey, or what is it considered?
Like
If he's successful in his
their financial world is completely separate. It's like it's as if their finances are like from how I've from how it was explained to me, I guess. It's almost like their finances are like as if they're friends. So they are married, but like she has her business, that's her money. He has his business, that's his money. Like it's completely separate. When bills are paid, they go half and half or whatever. Like it's completely separate. So it's kind of weird to see that.
So my question is, if you marry somebody, and congratulations to them. If they got two successful business going, operating their own way, that's great. So the question is so let's say they're married, and I don't know how that works. And let's say let's say the husband, because I don't want to pick on women, because I don't want to make it seem like this is a women hate channel. Um, so let's say the husband, he's short on the personal bills and the household expense. Do the wife What do the wife do? Cover his side and say, "Oh, you owe me this much money," or do you just get a divorce, or how did that work?
I
I don't
don't
know.
I mean I honestly don't know. I didn't ask that far. I'm sure to if I had a guess, it's probably be something of like they would owe it or some in some manner, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's something that it works for them, and you brought it up, but understand for the people that's watching, that's a very big outlier. But most people operate in that mindset of his and hers. I mean, when you took the vows, it said we was one. It said for richer or for poor. It says for better or for worse, and all that other stuff. I mean, biblical or not, that's what you repeated, unless you had some special vows that was said. But it still comes down to it. I mean, I have many friends, and of course, I was in the military, so I have many friends that's married and many friends that's divorced. And the common denominator has always been finances. I mean, especially if the soldiers that I knew was in the military, it was the spouse, no matter male or female, the spouse was spending way more money than they was making. And I always ask them, do you talk to them about finance? No. Do you talk to them about how much money they're bringing in? No. No matter what side it has been on, if it's male or female as a soldier, and it don't happen. I mean, I talked to many people over the weekend, and they said the same thing. Like they sit there. What's the new word? Finesse. You're finessing your spouse to say that you're doing something that you're really not doing. You get married to get a divorce. I
Right.
don't I don't understand. I don't understand that logic at all. For me, uh, I had about $2 when I got married, and I still probably got the same $2 now. These people that took all my dollars, but it wasn't a make believe. You know, I had $2 and it was I got millions over there. You just don't know about it. I just got $2. That's all I got. And then combine in a joint effort, and of course, a lot of mentor and teaching on my wife's side. I'm not gonna take credit for it about how marriage is supposed to work, how finance is supposed to work, and stuff like that. That's how I learned that hey, we're combined as one. If you're broke, then we're broke. It's not hey, I got X amount of dollars sitting over here, you sitting over there with nothing, and we're broke or I'm broke. We're one. And that's a concept that most people don't grasp and understand that it's a combined effort. And I'm gonna be 100% honest. I lived that life that you speak of that Dave Ramsey was talking about in this video where it was her money, my money. I tried to live like that the first couple of years of the marriage. And I ain't gonna lie, I was broke the whole time. No headway. I was coming up with all kind of schemes to come to try to make up money. But then when I got the tutelage from my better half, because of course every half of me is better than me, but that's when it started clicking. That's when it started working. That's when I realized we should join this one and we need to make it work. That's when stuff started flowing. That's when investments started picking up. That's when the bank account started growing and stuff like that. But before that, let's say the first 2, 3 years, no, it was a disaster waiting to happen. It was literally a disaster waiting to happen because I was robbing Peter to pay Paul so I could say I kept up my half of the deal. And to her credit, she never um, had that philosophy. But I was just trying to make sure I keep up my half just to say, hey, I did it. But it was never it was never supposed to or should have been like that. But it didn't start clicking, wheels start turning, money start growing, being able to do everything else until after I learned that it's not about his and hers, it's about our.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how that was for you. I didn't know you at the time, but it probably was difficult. I think it's important for couples to communicate financially or communicate about finances at the start, before
Right.
even considering marriage. Um, not trying to give any marital advice or anything, but I mean, I was very conscious of that statistic or that fact that you said where um, m- money is the number one cause of divorce in America, um, and that was something that I wanted to avoid. And I already had my financial goals and everything, but I wanted to bring my wife on the same page, and she was. I mean, being able to communicate with that, and she was willing to make the same, if not more, sacrifice than me on certain things, and so we were very much on the same page financially. As soon as we got paid, we still do kind of huddle together. Any income we get, it could be $10. Hey, by the way, just so you know, I got this. Like, we'll communicate about anything financially, and see what we want to do with the money. And I think it's very important, just depending, whether for whatever financial goals you have. I think that's important. But many people, I think, probably get married for the wrong reason, whether it be for emotion because they're all in love with that person. But to me, I mean, you
Physical attraction.
right, you can love someone, but I think it's different if, like, let's say my wife wasn't who she was. I could have loved her, but still chose not to marry her if I saw how she was financially. And I think it takes a lot of strength for someone to make that decision. Most people would just act upon it emotionally because, oh, I love them. I'm going to marry them because I love them. But if you can see where it's going to head, like you said, if you can see that by marrying them, you're just going to head down a road to divorce, why would you marry them to begin with? Just because you love them, you have to make sure that you're
Uh, and
edge.
and it's because men and women, they will both believe that, oh, once I marry him that I can change them. But they are who they
Yeah,
are. I mean, you hear it all the time, no matter where you're at. Oh, they changed. No, they was who you was the whole time. You just failed to see who they was. And I believe that's a big problem with that. But with all that being said, I'm not women bashing, men bashing, anything like that. I just wanted to give my insight and review on what Dave Ramsey said. And if you agree or disagree with what we had to say, please hit us up in the comment section below and like, subscribe. We're still on our journey to hit 1,000 subs, so please like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Y'all have a good one.
see you guys.